Hello, dear students. We had been discussing the poem The Last Bargain. In the first part of the discussion of this poem through video, we had discussed about the meaning of the word bargain as well as about the person who wanted to be hired, and we had discussed in first two stanzas that the king wanted to hire him with his power, but he denied, and later on a wealthy man, an old man, wanted to hire him with money, with wealth, and he also rejected his offer. This old man's offer was rejected by that ordinary man who wanted to be hired. Now let's discuss next two stanzas, what is given in them. Let's see. This is the third stanza. It was evening. The garden hedge was all aflower. The fair maid came out and said, I will hire you with a smile. Her smile paled and melted into tears, and she went back alone into the dark. So this is the fourth stanza, and now the time is of the evening. First stanza was about the morning, and second was about the afternoon, midday time, and it is about the evening time. What happens? Let's see. This changed. 1 minute. Yeah. So the garden was all aflower. Now where he has reached near a garden. Now it is evening time, and the garden hedge. Hedge means fence or boundary. Boundary of a garden. Okay. Fence of a garden. F-E-N-C-E. Garden hedge is a flower. A flower means blooming with flowers. I mean the garden is having so many flowers. Hedge is also having so many flowers. The garden hedge is blooming with flowers. In other words, the garden is looking very beautiful and romantic. A fair maid. Fair maid means a beautiful lady, a beautiful girl, comes out and says, beautiful girl comes out and says that she wants to hire him. Him means the speaker, the man who wanted to be hired. Comes out and says that she wants to hire him, the speaker, with a smile, that is with her beauty. Now this girl, this fair maid wants to hire him with her beauty, with a smile. This is the third thing which has been discussed here by the poet. First was the power, second was the money or wealth, and third is beauty. Now, how did that man react to this proposal? Let's see. What was the response of this man? However, the speaker finds that like the king's power and old man's wealth, her beauty is also not everlasting. As we had discussed that, he found that the power of the king will end with his death. The money will end with the death of old man, as well as the money could not make that old man a young man. So the money was also worthless. Power was worthless. And here, beauty also was found worthless by this man. He says, he thinks that the beauty will be worthless like the king's powers and old man's wealth. Her beauty is also not everlasting. It will last one or the other day. That is why it is written, soon the smile of that beautiful lady is paled and melted with tears. That is gone Pale mean to be colorless, melted with tears. It will go in tears. She goes back along into the dark. And then she goes back because he rejects her proposal and she gets back into the dark. Dark here symbolizes hopelessness. And the speaker do not want hopelessness. He is not interested to have any hopelessness. He understands that a smile that made her look beautiful is fake and not everlasting. It has hidden sorrows of the lady. The day is over, but the speaker fails to make a bargain. He could not make that bargain he wanted to make. The day is over. However, he has patience and persistence. He does not give up. Okay, now what happens next? Let's see. The sun glistened on the sand and the sea waves broke waywardly. A child sat playing with shells. He raised his head and seemed to know me and said, I hire you with nothing. From henceforward, that bargain struck in child's play made me a free man. Now I think he has made the bargain. And it was made with nothing. How? What happened? Let's see. This is the last stanza. Okay, dear students. And what is given here? Let's see. In the final stanza, the new day comes with new hope. It is about the new day. Next day. He is at the seashore and sees the sun glistening. Glistening means shining. That man, on the very next day, new day comes with new hope and courage for the speaker. And now he is at the seashore and sees the sun glistening, means shining on the sand, and sea waves breaking, that is striking. Sea waves striking, waywardly means in a unpredictable way, which cannot be predicted. We cannot say what would happen, what would be the length, what would be the height of the waves. So the waves were hitting against the bank, against the shore of the sea, side of the sea. He is at the seashore means he is by the side of the sea, standing there on the bank of the sea. And he sees the sun is shining on the sand and seas waves were hitting, they were striking against the seashore and they were wayward, they were unpredictable. This scene presented by a speaker symbolizes his love and appreciation for nature. We can see that Rabindranath Tagore was having love for nature. He appreciates the nature. Soon he finds a child sitting on the seashore. The sun glistened and the sand on the sand and the sea waves broke waywardly. A child sat playing with shells. He finds a child sitting on the seashore and playing with shells. And this is symbolic image as the child has no desire for power or wealth or beauty. This is symbolic image. The child was not having any desire for power, for wealth, for beauty. He is free of all these things, which makes the man a servant. And man who wanted to be hired becomes a servant of this child who was playing with shells, seashells, you know. The child raises his head and sees the speaker. It looks to the speaker that the child knows him. He raised his head and seemed to know me and said. It seemed that the child knew the speaker. Seeing the speaker in a quest means search for something. The child offers to hire him with nothing. The child says, I will hire you with nothing. Nothing is a profound symbol here, dear students. It's also a symbol, nothing. It means freedom. It means liberty, independence and free from desire. No desires at all. total freedom of worldly or material things, liberty from worldly or material things or benefits. The speaker understands that this is what he was looking for since long. This was what he was looking for since long. He accepts the child's offer, and from thenceforward means from that day, and from that day the speaker finds freedom in child's play and thus becomes a free man. This was the ultimate destination of the speaker, and this is what he wanted to have. Okay, so here he finally made a bargain with the child for nothing, with nothing. Okay, and he became a free man, free from worldly desires, worldly things, allurements, attraction of worldly things. So this was a beautiful poem by Rabindranath Tagore, dear students, and we discussed it. Now about the exercise. Who is the speaker in the poem? You can write the speaker is an ordinary man looking for work. An ordinary man who is looking for work, who wanted to be hired, is the speaker. The king's sword in hand suggests wealth, power, more power than wealth. What will be the appropriate item? Means the answer. The answer is power. The king's sword in hand means power. Third question, the old man offered the speaker a lot of money. Why did he turn down the offer? He was giving him a lot of money. Why he rejected his offer? Why did he reject his offer? Turn down, reject the offer. The answer may be the speaker turned down the offer for a lot of money because his freedom was more important than gleam of gold, than the shine of gold. Means he was interested in liberty, independence, okay, freedom rather than money. Freedom from such attractions, worldly attractions like gold and wealth and property. Next question is, find in the poem lines that match the following. Read both one after another. I have nothing to give you except goodwill and cheer. Which line matches this statement? I have nothing to give you except goodwill and cheer. Of course, the answer will be I hire you with nothing. I hire you with nothing. Second, her happiness was no more than sorrow and disguise. Disguise, to change the posture, to change the appearance. Okay. So here the answer will be her smile paled and melted into tears. It will be the right answer. The king's might was not worth much. Right answer will be but his power counted for naught. Okay. I think this is the second last question, and now here is the last question of your poem exercise. Okay, and the question is, how did the speaker feel after talking to the child on the beach? So what would you write here? The speaker felt like a free man after talking to the child on the beach. He felt happy and relieved. He need not compromise his freedom, and in return he was to get goodwill and cheer. It was a fair deal. It was a good deal. Okay. So he was feeling very good after talking to the child on the beach. Okay. So these had been the questions of the poem. of the poem The Last Bargain by Rabindranath Tagore. It was really an amazing poem. I hope you would have understood all the stanzas and the exercise question answers. If still you are having any doubts, you may make a call to me, you may send me messages, okay, or you may ask the questions regarding the poem in the online class too. So, thank you very much. Stay happy, stay healthy. Please take very good care of yourself. Thank you very much.